All right, hello everyone. Hopefully my audio is coming through clearly. This is ASE Tapera. Welcome to the stream. We are going to be casting some games here. I'm joined today by Flames. Flames, I will definitely edit you into the video description after the stream's over, because right now it just has Pear as the only commentator. But I will definitely add you in.
Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, guys.
Um, Again, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Flames. And I see we have a lot of viewers, but I actually have no idea who's watching. So if you're here, say hello, say hi. I promise we don't fight for the most part, anyways. Yeah, we're excited. We got two games here today. We've got Pla Pandas versus SFT1, and then we've also got Legend versus GAY. Again, these are qualifier matches. This is round two, I believe. They are. I think they're all best of ones. Hey Raiden, how's it going? I see you in the chat there. So this should be exciting. I'm hoping these games are close, and we'll be able to get some good commentary and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Keen to see these games, man.
All right, and I totally forgot about the donation thing. I have it set up, and I think I'm supposed to show it at the beginning of everything, but I always forget. So I'm going to show it now. So thank you to people who have donated. We really appreciate it. I think it makes things definitely more exciting for the viewers and the players, and just it adds like the legitimacy to the tournament. So we really appreciate it if you do donate. All the information is on the tournament page, which is also in the YouTube description below. All right, shall we get started here?
Yeah, let's go, man.
All right. Okay, we got that set up. All right, so this is Pla Pandas versus SFT1. And again, it is a best of one, so it's only one game. All right, so, I don't even have to pause at the beginning. All right, so let's get started here. So this is a best of one between Pla Pandas versus SFT1. Let's take a look at the players and their nations. So for PLA, we've got King with French, that's the tier 3. Mars Noir, with Bantu, that's tier 2, and Monkey, Japanese, with tier 1. And they're up against SFT1. So SFT1, their tier 3 player is Nuts with Nubians, Pacer with British, and Connor McDavid with Japanese. What do you think, Flames? Who do you think has the better set of nations for this map and also player skill?
I think French is kind of a weird choice, but other than that, I love each and every nation that they've chosen. What about you, man?
I do think, personally, I definitely prefer British slightly more than Bantu on this map. I do think, Bantu obviously have great potential for either a really nice boom game or a very aggressive raids in the beginning, but I personally love British on this map, and I can't really be turned down. I think the French is a signal to me that PLA is intending to go a little on the aggressive side, which we've seen to mixed success on Australian Outback in the past.
Yeah, for sure. French brings that despot factor, I guess. Yeah. That's what's nice about it. They always bring that despot factor.
Yeah, the French are definitely a force to be reckoned with. If you don't respect it, they'll just run you over. With either the straight despot or Com2 despot, even on this map, both are quite powerful. So let's see if SFT1 is prepared for that, and if PLA end up going some other strategy as well. We'll just have to see here. Player skill wise, yeah, good.
Who do you think is the strongest from these 6 players?
So I haven't played a ton with any of these PLA players actually, but I have played.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah. It might be a time zone thing, but I have definitely played with all of the SFT1 players, and Connor is definitely the strongest of the 3. But I think Pacer and Nuts are both solidly in turn. I think they're definitely good. Hey Jan, I see you in the chat. How's it going? Jan has some fire thoughts. He thinks Nubia is better than French on this map, especially.
On this map? Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For me, I think it's just a personal thing. I just can't play Nubia well for whatever reason. Maybe it's just like I have bad rares,
Let's clear the archers, bro.
or maybe I'm just like macroing wrong. But like honestly, I love French, so you know I think Coin would agree with me. All right. Anyways, so Jan says Monkey is the strongest in PLA. All right. Well, he is the tier 1 player, so that's what I would expect, especially given it's.
I heard he's good. Yeah.
So let's take a look at the map here and where the players have spawned. So we'll start with PLA here. So PLA in the corner, top left corner, we have the light blue French player. That's King, PLA King. And then a little ways below him, the blue Bantu player, Mars Noor, kind of taking over the center, actually. And then to the right, their third teammate, the yellow Japanese player, PLA Monkey. Monkey's right up against the red Nubians player, Nuts. Below Nuts is the green Japanese player, Connor McDavid. And on the bottom right side, kind of in his own world, we have the purple British player, Pacer. So, as we've talked about, Australian Outback is all about getting map control and making use of that map control. So, what do you think? Who do you think is favored in this nation setup?
I think it's pretty even Stevens at the moment. I wouldn't put too much focus on who has the better territorial advantage right now.
It does
Everybody's
seem like
got metal.
Yeah, everybody. There does seem like to be a lot of mountains here. Let's see. So, Nuts is probably gonna have 2. Connor's gonna have this one and maybe this one, and then this is a +8 and this is a +6. So, SFT1 is fine, and it looks like PLA also going to be fine. These are both 5s. That's a 5. This is a 6. That's a 10. That's a 6. And then there's 6 and a 5 as well as a 5 back there. You know, to me, if I was Mars Noor, I would be thinking about splitting up Pacer from the rest of the team. Right? He's a Bantu player. He gets 2 quick cities. You go bam, and then bam, moving further along and just completely shut Pacer away from his other allies and kind of choke them out of the map. But we'll have to see if that's what he goes for and if it's something that he wants to do.
It's possible for sure.
Yeah, we can take a look at the rares quickly. So we'll start with SFT1. So we've got Bison right above Napata. It's like kind of on the border-ish, and it does look like Nuts has narrowly missed out on getting the bonus from the Nubian power. It doesn't look like Bison is there. Flames, do you actually know this? If the Bison merchant is in your territory, does it count? Even if like this Bison is clearly not in Nuts' territory, but if the Bison merchant is in his territory, does he get 30 food or 20 food?
You get 30.
Oh, okay.
You get extra.
Unfortunately, Nuts has not moved this merchant. He could be getting 10 extra food income, but that's all right.
I don't think he should be using that as well. Like, it's not worth it. Might as well just sell out fishes.
Yeah. Well, he has Nubians, so it's for his fast start, I guess. He's already at +70 food, so that's good for him. Other rares that they've got are Pappy to the right of Napata. There's Spice and Gems near Kyoto. Along the backside, there's Salt on the bottom right there. There's Sugar next to London, Silver above London, and Dye to the left there, as well as Silk on the right of London. Those are pretty nice rares. And there's Copper kind of in the middle-ish.
Yeah, nice rares.
Yeah. On the other side for PLA, there's Relics, but I think this is actually more of an SFT1 rare. I mean, it's kind of hard imagining how Mars Noor is going to secure this Relics. There's Tobacco to the right of Great Zimbabwe, Amber to the far left. There's Peacocks above Great Zimbabwe, Diamonds to the right of Paris, as well as Peacocks to the top right. Moving further along, we have Marble smack dab in the middle, Obsidian to the bottom left of Nara, and then Cotton and Furs on the top. I think I said this is Peacocks. There's Furs and Cotton for PLA. So who do you think? Who has the better rares?
I would say definitely STF1. They've got the better rares for sure, especially because of the gems. They actually have the relics in their hands once they get the gems up.
Yeah. Does look like we're going to be starting off this game with some aggression. That's kind of characteristic of when a Japanese player starts right next to another player. We've got Monkey, who's got a Calm Mill and started pumping out units. And it looks like Nuts has just put down the barracks. And he's taken some losses right now. I think he's lost at least one citizen so far.
Yeah.
And this is definitely going to hurt him a lot, even though he is Bison. And he's able to get that Bison with the power of the gems. Now he's at +30 food. So his eco's not awful, but now we see Monkey's going to go for a tower. This is a really nice play from him. It's really going to be pretty easy to defend it, especially from heavy infantry, given if he builds, light or some archers. And so it's going to be really hard for Nuts to keep this wood camp alive.
I feel like I don't know why Nuts is taking this battle. It's clear that Japanese will always be faster. He should just accept the loss of the battle and change the woodcutter and save himself a lot of resources.
Yeah, he's building a heavy infantry, but
You
yeah.
gotta choose your battles, man. You gotta choose your battles.
What? Sorry?
Like you gotta choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fight a battle you lose.
Yeah, and if you look at the scores now, it does look like Monkey is way ahead of Nuts at this point. Just speeding along, he's gonna get Civ, and Nuts still has only one tech. He's gonna go for Calm now, and now Connor's here to help out Nuts. Really wish there was a bit more communication. I think only one of them need to go Mill. Connor is also doing well for himself. He's got Calm, Civ, Mill. We can take a look at the other players. British player has Calm, Civ. The Bantu player has gone Calm, Mill, I think, and is starting out the raids with those infantry units that are very fast. And the French player has skipped Mill in favor of Science. Hey Joven, how's it going? This tower is going to go up here for Monkey, and Nuts is definitely taking some losses. Joven, so I'm AFC the pair. That's me speaking, and I'm joined by Flames. Who again, thank you for coming, Flames.
No worries. Hey Joven.
All right, does look like Nuts is definitely taking a lot of losses here, but Connor is soaring in the score. On the other side, it does look like the French player is getting a nice boom up. He's going to finish up his mill now. Let's see if any of these players are going to go for a Calm 2 or anything like that. Some really nice raids on Sugar here by Mars Nor. The British player is only now finishing the barracks. A little on the slow side, unfortunately. They're definitely going to take some losses here. So the tower has finished, and Nuts has moved his wood camp to the bottom side. He's going to switch it to a +8, actually. So that's going to be nice for him.
Yeah, he could have done it way earlier.
Yeah, definitely. I think he really didn't need to make that heavy infantry. Take a quick look for... there are raiding units from Connor that are kind of scouting out the backside. They haven't... SFT1 hasn't done a great job scouting in the backside here, but we'll have to take a look. A lot of units being forced out for Pacer, but they still only kept one of these merchants alive, actually, which is pretty sad. Pacer has a lot of good rares.
It's been a really aggressive play from PLA.
Yeah, they're just pushing the aggression. We do see Connor here trying to reverse some of the aggression. He's going to snipe that Furs merchant. That's something that they sorely needed. They need to deal some sort of economic damage to their opponents, or else they're just going to far way too far behind. Does look like Mars Nor has done a decent job of isolating Pacer, but it is still open for a rotation from Connor. It's just kind of far away. Kind of going to be a little annoying.
It's just made it, but like you're going to see the armies move. I guess that's the advantage now.
Yeah.
Like for PLA, they can see the armies.
Yeah. French player is going to age, and with a nice aggressive tower, I'm expecting this to be a death spot here, especially given that he's using diamonds. That's my guess. It could be a senator push as well, but this is a sign to me that King wants to get aggressive. I think that's a good choice. Just force the issue. Your opponents have taken some economic damage. It's not a ton, but some. So Connor's units are going to get kind of cleaned up here.
As long as he doesn't rush the British.
Yeah.
Because the British is such a pain and classical.
Yeah, those towers with the extra range, the archers that shoot so fast, it's really annoying to kill them. Pacer is still skirmishing here with Mars Nor here. Not sure if he's winning the trade. I'm not sure if any of them have lost any units. Pacer is now aging, and so is Mars Nor, and Nuts is the one last to age because he took so much economic damage. He's actually really far from aging. He's way behind. It looks like he lost his Bison Merchant as well, and that's really going to hurt him. He's still 300 food off aging, hasn't even maxed his food income. That's really going to hurt. I think you know, if I was in Connor's spot or in Pacer's spot, I would try to get some water raids going because they need to get something done right now because Nuts is really, really far behind.
That's true.
He's gonna go for science. He's still really far from aging. He is using silver and sugar, so or no, he's not using silver. He's just using sugar. So that's gonna help him at least a little bit catch up. But he's still definitely behind the Japanese player on the other side. Let's take a look at what sort of governments they're going for. Looks like we are going to see senator from the French player, so not going to see that signature French despot. Instead, going for a senator. Everybody has aged, aside from Nuts, who's really struggling here.
Yeah.
He has got his eco back together, and he's chased away Monkey's units from Bison. So at least he can hold on to that rare for a little bit, but he's really far behind. He still needs time to actually click on the age button, which he hasn't yet for some reason. I think he's waiting for silver, maybe? No, he's gonna click up on it now. Connor is gonna go for senator.
It's not like he's using any rares that will give him instant knowledge income.
Yeah.
Just gems.
Gems and Pappy, right? And those are both plus 15
Pappy,
total,
yeah.
so it's actually 30 knowledge total, which is
actually, that's not bad, I guess.
Is something, but he's definitely struggling for eco at this point.
What do you think the SFT1 should do? Because they're lacking behind score. I think you're right. Probably C raids would have helped a lot.
I think it's C raids and Turtle because they have Pappy, they have Silver, they have better long game rares. If Connor can grab Colossus or Hanging Gardens and make sure his teammates don't die or take crippling damage on either side, I think that's the ideal route because he needs to get ahead of his opponent somehow. And even though the Pappy and stuff will help him, he's gonna have to expend resources keeping his teammates alive. So I think a Wonder could just be the trick to make himself survive, make his team survive for longer, and make sure that he secures the late game.
It's looking like PLA will be the first to siege, I guess.
Probably. We do see Mill 2 coming from Mars Nor, and Mill 2 already finished for the French player. And a siege factory coming out. He has a barracks and a stable very forward. Not much army right now. We do see another siege factory coming from Monkey. Let's take a look. Nuts is still really far behind. He's going to get that senator up. Connor's Mill 2 is finishing. He has a stable and a barracks. On the bottom side, this Sugar Man, this keeps getting raided. I think this is Pacer really needed a tower here. I mean, or just a tower like right here to stop the enemy advance. I mean, he needed to get something because these raids are really hurting him and his teammates. Pacer is going to get fortunate with a light horse bribe, a little bit of sloppy from Mars North to not be paying attention to that. And the siege starts. Connor's gonna throw away a heavy infantry, and that's not a great start for him against the French player. The French player is doing really well for himself. Gonna get Archer upgrade, starting to pump out units. There's actually nothing pumping out from this. We can take a quick look at the knowledge incomes. So King has 70 knowledge, Monkey has 80 knowledge, Nuts has 65 actually, Connor has 75, Pacer has 30, and Mars Nor has 75. So Pacer's the only one that's actually really struggling for knowledge at this point. But this is starting to turn into a pretty hefty French army. King's actually going to go for Science 2 in this spot. What do you think about that choice?
I'm not so sure about that. And if you look at King's, he was actually the first to siege, and he has the best wealth income as well. That's just like he's carrying the game right now.
This is an insane wealth income.
He's got the booming and the
yeah. I mean, and he also has a really nice army.
The booming aspect and the rushing aspect. Yeah, exactly. He's got both aspects right.
Yeah. Right now, he's only sieging a siege factory. That's going to give Connor a little bit of time, a little bit of a reprieve. But Connor needs to get something together. I mean, he doesn't have much army. And, you know, it's kind of hard trading against a French player because, you know, they just heal their units. On the bottom side, we do see Mars Nor has started sieging with 2 siege factories. I don't think he's going to break Pacer anytime soon. In fact, I think Pacer needs to move forward with his archers. He could just be shooting at these units freely, because you know, his units don't heal unless they're in Mars Nor's own territory. On top side, the city is the Pada is reduced. The capital has moved, but Nuts is really struggling for eco. He has like no army compared to Monkey's army. Monkey has double the units and they're upgraded. Does Nuts have militia? He does have militia, so he's going to be able to hold this city, but I mean, look at his eco.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to rotate because PLA is attacking on all 3 fronts. If any player moves, they lose their city. So it's really tough.
City, yeah.
I think PLA have this one. I mean, it's like Pacer should be the one to rotate, but he's stuck in the corner. He can't do anything. Connor can't rotate away from a French player because the French player is going to run him over otherwise. And Nuts is losing badly to a Japanese player here.
Yeah, I think the game will end in medieval, probably.
Yeah, probably. Does look like Mars Nor is going to start rotating, and this is a mistake I see from Pacer. He doesn't have a siege factory ready, so he can't actually rotate, and he's actually lagging behind in tech. He's not really spending his money well enough. Now he's going to go for that mill too, but he's definitely way behind. We do see here the French player is going to push forward, try and make something happen, and this is really nice, something that you can't really do with other nations. As a French player, you can walk into your opponent's territory, and you won't take that many losses because of your supply wagon healing your units. Connor is holding a city momentarily. On the top side, it does look like Nuts has attrition, so that's gonna definitely make Monkey annoyed, but this is a big problem. King's taken Connor's city. King has a massive army, 6 heavy cavalry, 7 archers, 6 heavy infantry, and Connor's just gonna go for a full frontal assault. I don't know if this is gonna work, Connor. But King is gonna respect it, actually. He's just gonna back off. I don't know if he needed to back off there. I think he could have fought it. Connor does have militia full.
Yeah, he should have just stayed.
Yeah. His heavy infantry were in a good spot, but instead he's going to take a little bit of damage. And now the city is Connor's again, so that means his senator is healing his units. His units are also going to hit the city a bit. This does feel like King is over-microing a little bit, but I'm not sure. Maybe he's genius and he's just taking better trades. Connor's senator is so far back. He's not healing his units at all. And take a look at the bottom side here. Mars Nor is going to get cheeky. He's going to try and run through the back, but I don't think that's going to work against Pacer. Pacer has a pretty solid army. Fortunately for Mars Nor, he can just run away. And, oh, Nuts has actually said, screw my city, I'm going to go help you, because for some reason Monkey backed off. Monkey is aging, and so is Mars Nor. But this could be a good moment for Nuts and Connor. It's just Connor's kind of stuck in the back. He needs to get something done. They're going to force march in. I don't think they're going to get anything out of this. I don't think they killed a single unit here. Pretty unfortunate rotation for him. But at least Connor's going to be able to hold the city for a little while. 2 PLA players have aged.
I think Connor is probably the only one who's gonna survive. I mean, like, gonna go to medieval.
Yeah. Here we see Monkey being annoying in the water with a heavy ship, just drawing the attention away. You know, it's easily cleaned up by a single fire ship, but that's only if your opponents are actually, you know, able to pay attention and get that there. Actually, Nuts is pretty close to aging. Connor has clicked up on the H button. Let's take a look at Pacer. Pacer is going for Civic. His knowledge income is really not there, and that's why. Like, he has so many other resources. He's floating so many resources, if you look at that. 800 food, 1,000 timber. I mean, it's like, come on, like... Mars Nor has a medieval age army now, and King is going to start... King has started medieval age. This looks really bad for SFT1. They're just like slowly losing ground everywhere.
I feel like maybe Pacer should be sending resources.
Yeah. Oh, here, if you look at the backside, Connor is actually raiding water. Good catch from Chatton. he has 2 heavy ships on this side, and you know, this could be a game-changing turn. I mean, if their opponents don't pay attention to it, they could lose a lot of their eco, which could be good. But Connor's going to lose his city because he just can't fight against this giant French army that's going to be upgraded soon, and that's really scary. On the top side, Nuts has held his city. He's going to actually go to Medieval, and that's going to be really good for him. Medieval has finished, and that's really, really good. I mean, I think he can go in now. He can garrison his units and snipe some of the army and sieges. But on this side, Pacer's going to try and keep Connor's city alive, but he's going to lose it because Pacer's army is not upgraded, and he still has a zillion floating resources. And Mars Nor is going to clean this up.
I just noticed, like, the games we've casted, the qualifiers, like, no one's going for wonders in this map when you should be going. Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You can afford the wonder.
Yeah. Like, I did feel like, you know, even though it makes you a little bit more vulnerable, you're already behind, so sometimes you have to take a riskier play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like everybody has age, but Pacer's only now aging. But this push has hurt Connor's eco, and I mean, so far PLA has gone untouched except for in the water. Connor's had to give up the city for free, and he's definitely struggling. He's going to get all his techs up, but now he's struggling for metal, actually. On the top side, Monkey's still sieging away. He's actually pop-capped right now, which, you know, is a mixed blessing, because, you know, part of it is, for Nuts anyways, part of it is, okay, well, Nuts is going to be able to survive with not as much army for a little while, but also, you know, that means Monkey's going to get Mill 3 soon, and that means armor, and that means you can't fight the army at all. Pretty sizable Bantu army at this point from Mars Nor. It's kind of digging at the underbelly here, and they could double Connor here. Actually, Connor's going to burst out of Kyoto, recognizing that, okay, maybe I have to get something done here. But Pacer's nowhere to be found, actually. He's really out of position. He needs to be further up in trading with Connor here. Because this is a good opportunity to get something done, but it's really awkward. Connor's going to go back and defend his own city. Massive Japanese army
Yeah,
from
I'd be
Monkey.
pretty confused. If I were Connor, I'd be pretty confused on what to do here. Just 2 armies just poking from both
I mean,
sides.
I think he has to go help kill this army from Mars Nor. But if he goes down, he actually gets killed by the French army just rotating back over, which is really awkward.
Yeah.
And
Nuts
is not taking it, or sorry, Pacer's not taking a good trade here. This is not an ideal trade at all. There's just too many crossbows from Mars Nor, and Pacer is not really doing a good job of microwaving his cavalry to kill them. And now Mars Nor is going to be able to hide all his units in the city.
This is their last stand here.
Oh, Napata is going to get sieged again. It looks like Monkey is going to go for a rush. Really nice play here from Nuts. He's going to sneak some cavalry around the back. That's going to be really annoying. Maybe keep him alive for a little bit longer, but he has no army. I mean, Monkey has easily triple his army size right now, so this is going to be really tough. The city of Napata is taken, and it looks like it's going to be GG very soon. PLA is 1,300 points ahead at this point. So...
Yeah, I'd call it GG in a bit.
Yeah.
Once one of these cities are... Yeah. Right, yeah.
Does look like Mars Nor is here to push at the top side. Does Pacer have sieges? He has a single siege. These sieges came way too late. He's still floating 1,000 timber. And 500 food. And GG is called.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's going to be the game. I mean, it did feel like the story of this game was PLA got slightly ahead, and then they got a little bit more ahead, and then they got a little bit more ahead, and that was it. Really
I feel
felt
like the early rates.
Yeah.
That's where it showed the difference in the level. and yeah, they couldn't build on it. I feel like Connor did his best.
Yeah.
He did a bit of raids on in the sea, a bit on land, a decent army. It was just too much. The Japanese player from the other end, PLM Monkey, did a good grade on the Nubians.
Yeah. It just felt like I don't know. It did feel like Nuts took a little bit too much damage from that from the early raid, and it really feels like it really wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
I don't really know how.
I feel like it's a good lesson for him then.
Yeah.
Like don't fight battles you know you're gonna lose, man.
Yeah. Pacer's really trying here, but he has nothing. He's still floating a ton of resources. Yeah, it did feel like Pacer out of all the players had the time to boom up and maybe grab a wonder and try and secure the late game for his team, or go for an aggressive push, because it did feel like he had the resources / capabilities. But again, he also took a bunch of damage early on. The Sugar kept getting raided. He kept getting raided overall, and he wasn't doing any counter raids. It was Connor trying to salvage this game, and Connor does have a pretty big army, but a lot of it is decoys, and he is like no citizens at this point. And he's going to get sandwiched from both sides, and this is a massacre. That's going to be GG. And as Jetton said in the chat, that's going to be SFT1 getting knocked out of the tournament. I'm not sure if that's our first knockout, but they are going to be the ones knocked out of the tournament. And it's going to be a triple on Connor here, actually. Yeah.
Last stand.
And GG is called again. Yeah, that's going to be it. Did feel like SFT1 just really got outplayed here. For Connor's best efforts at raiding in the back, it just wasn't good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was just not meant to be. And it's good. I mean, it was fun to watch them play. I feel like these boys definitely improved from the last time I saw them.
Yeah.
Respect to them for that.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to Connor there for being a good sport and saying good luck. We do like to see that good sportsmanship here. Hey Ness, how's it going?
Need more of that.
That's going to be the game here. And John says AIE also knocked out. All right, so we have two teams already knocked out. Unfortunate for them, but that is going to give the other teams a better chance of getting into the Super 16. Again, that's the goal. I think PLA has one more match to play, right? If I'm not mistaken, because this is qualifier round 2, so they need to win the next one in order to get to Super 16. Who would you say was the MVP?
The next game we're casting? You go first.
Who do you think was the MVP of this match?
I think it is hard. I feel like each PLA player contributed in their own way.
Yeah.
King did his part in terms of arming up and pressuring the city. Monkey did his part in terms of raiding. So did Mars Norse. I feel like they all just did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, they all did their
one player
their job. I think. I think if it were up to me, if I had to say, I would probably give it to the Bantu player. It did feel like he was the most active, and he's like constantly drawing Connor's attention away from his own cities, and constantly raiding the rares that all three of the players share. But I think it's unfortunately for SFT1, I did feel like PLA just outplayed them here. So
yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap up this game. The next one we have is Legend versus GAY. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to this, and we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. So sit tight. I'll change all the overlays and stuff. So please sit tight. I hope you are enjoying the stream so far. See you soon. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back. Now we're going to be casting Legend versus GAY. Um, this is ASE the pair speaking. If you're just tuning into the stream, welcome. Hope you are excited to see some Nations. I'm joined here today by Flames. Again, thank you, Flames, for joining me.
Always a pleasure. Let's go.
All right, yeah, let's get started. Okay, switch to Nations and. All right, so again, this is Legend versus GAY. It's Qualifier Run 2. I actually have no idea if these teams are 0-1 or 1-0. But yeah, let's get started. So looks like this is another Outback game, given that it's Qualifier Run 2. Let's take a look at the players and their nations. So for Team GAY, we've got we've got GE with Aztecs. We've got Rochi with Bantu, and we've got Hockey Star with Dakota. And they're up against Team Legend, so they've got John X with Nubians, Thor with Americans, and Felisberto with Turks. So these are some pretty interesting picks. Flames, what do you think?
Yeah.
Who is the edge here, given player skill and picks, and also the map?
I would give the skill-wise edge to Gay team because they're pretty old players and they know this game pretty well. But I definitely have to give the nation's pick to the other team. They've got some good picks. There's that element of surprise by Turks, element of booming by the Americans, and just the element of speed by Nubians. We're seeing some new nations here, don't you think? There's Dakota, there's Turks, Aztecs.
Yeah, it's exciting. I just I can see it in the chat. Chat has said Leko is a horrible pick. Yeah, I don't know. I feel Leko is just like so bad on Outback. I feel like relative to how good they are in the other maps.
You guys think so?
Yeah, it's just like okay. So I know. So I have played Leko. We played Leko in the Nordic Classic. I played a game of Leko on Outback. Admittedly, it was random map, so I didn't get to decide. But it just feels like it's really bad because there's not enough landmass, and so there's less runes than normal, so you don't get as much out of your scouting. And then also you're like speed-wise, a lot of it is just who's able to rush into the water versus who's who's not going to take damage from an early military raid. And so it's just like overall like as far as I can tell, the build for Leko on this map is you get to plus 50 food and then you rush comp 1 instead of going to plus 70 because you just can't get to plus 70 food fast enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? That's where everybody's making the mistake with Lakota. I see people just pumping citizens to scout in Australian Outback when there's probably like just 20 ruins. You're supposed to just go com 1 at mid 3 and get the first stock. It's the fastest nation ever in Australian Outback. It's so OP. Like if you watch our replay now, one through Lakota.
Well, I guess everybody has different opinions. I just have never had success playing Leko on this map. Then again,
fair.
Yeah, I guess everybody has their own playstyle and such, and their own biased experience. So maybe Lakota is secretly good. I don't know. We can take a look at where the players are located here. So we can start with Team GAY. So on the right corner, we have the red Lakota player, Hockey Star. And then right below him, we have the yellow Aztec player, GE. And to the left, their third teammate, the orange Bantu player, Rochi. Right across from Rochi, we have the green Turks player, Felisberto. Up in the left corner, we have the light blue Nubians player, John X. And on the right here, we have the blue Americans player, Thor.
Yes.
And I see Phantom and Alan in the chat. Hey, how's it going? Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. So yeah, so normally I say like who's favored based on nation location, but I think it's pretty spread out, so whatever. So instead of asking that, I'll ask you this question, Flames. Where do you think Hockey Star should civ first?
I probably think he should civ towards the American player because. Yeah, I feel like just to limit himself to like 2 mines, medal income.
Yeah.
That's probably the best shot.
Yeah.
There's not really much variations he can do in terms of Civic.
Yeah. Like, I guess he could sieve, like, upwards to grab silver, but that's, like, it seems like a little suspect. I think it's either, like, right in front here, so to maybe try to contest Bison, possibly, and then also grab this mountain for his team, or sieve over to the right-ish and secure the silver in the back. Obviously, he hasn't scouted yet.
I feel like but... as long as you force the American player to go Civic 1, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be late to a wonder.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we can talk quickly through the rares. So for Team GAY, they've got Silk on the right side here. Makasika, there's Copper and Citrus above Technotitlon. There's Furs below Technotitlon as well. Moving further along, we have horses like right between Hockey Star, or not Hockey Star, right between Rochi and Felisberto. And then there's Cotton in the middle of the map. On the other side for Team Legend, they've got Diamonds to the back left of Istanbul. There's Wine above Istanbul, and then moving further along to the left, Tobacco, Amber, and Obsidian to the left side. There's Spice in the middle. There's Sugar below Washington, and Relics and Dye to the left of Washington and Napata, respectively, and then Silver on the top right corner, which might possibly be claimed by Hockey Star there. Hey Fatabi, that is Flames talking. Well, I mean, that was Flames talking. I may have seen the pair, but the other person here with me is Flames. Say hello, Flames, so Fatabi can hear your voice.
Yo, hey Fatabi, what's up?
Okay, we see some aggression here from the Turks player. He's gonna go. He has a heavy infantry ready, and he's gonna execute 2 heavy infantry. Where's? Oh, it looks like Rochi's wood camp is far in the back. He has scouted it, but he has scouted it. He has 2 citizens there. Felisberto, I mean. And Rochi's kind of caught with his pants down. He doesn't have any food for Mill. He actually went a second woodcutter camp. I think he's dead. Right? I mean,
yeah,
like I'm not stupid, right? He's like actually dead, right? Like he has no money for Mill. It is
someone has to save him basically.
Yeah, GE's gonna go for a Mill now, which I think he has to. He's using Furs, which is a nice use, but I mean it's gonna take a while for him to get enough units to contest this.
It's a very weird move. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's like so greedy to build a second wood camp against a Turk player who's right next to you. What is happening? I mean, I think
some pro stuff.
I think like has he lost any units? Let's see. He's lost 3 citizens already.
I don't know. Okay, oops, never mind.
I mean, I think he's dead, right? Like this is like this might be the game here.
Let's see.
Obviously we'll have to see, but like if you see where GE is building the barracks, it's so far away. I mean,
yeah. By the time he reaches, I think like he'll have enough food.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, we do see here. Let's see. Where is Hockey Star sieving? Hockey Star's finished the sieve. He's actually gone for barracks himself. This is a pretty defensive barracks from Hockey Star. I would have liked to see it a little bit more forward.
Consider it taken care of.
Yeah.
GE says consider it taken care of after Rochi's lost like 6 citizens from this. I mean,
comedy, man.
I mean, this is really rough. If they win this will be a really good comeback. But all right, so Hockey Star is trying to get some raids going. It's not going to get anything done, I think. He might be able to snipe this this bowman. If you look here, Rochi's actually rallied his first light infantry over to the top instead of helping his teammate. That's really funny. Felisberto is going to lose a unit for no reason. It's okay. He's already done more than enough here. He actually is still a ways. He's going to get calm soon. I will say, for Team Legend, they have done an awful job scouting. They have, like, no vision of their opponents at all, aside from, obviously, Rochi, who's gone, like, totally screwed. Rochi's gonna go for Mill now. Hey, Mentalist. Aztecs are tier 3 under the Nomadium rules, so... there's a party here for fishing. They're partying there.
You okay over there?
GE says if you're okay over there to Orange. I mean, his economy's not awful. He has plus 90 food and plus 80 timber. It's just he like lost like so many citizens. He's only at 17 population. Admittedly, actually, if you look
It's
at
not like he has any units or anything.
yeah, if you look at Felisberto, he's actually also struggling for eco. I'm not like obviously he was doing a lot of damage with the raid, but I feel like he could have like focused on his eco a little bit more himself. Let's take a look at how the other players are doing. A Nubians player with diamonds is doing really well for themselves. Americans player is doing reasonably well with plus 100, plus 100. Pretty forward city from Houston, good to protect that bison. It does look like Hockey Star ended up sitting to the top there, or on the top there, but they haven't scouted silver, and neither have oh no, looks like Team Legend they have scouted silver. And now it's actually going to be the Aztecs player raiding diamonds.
Like, do you think the Legends team should be rushing or booming here? What do you think?
I think it's fine if they boom. I mean, they haven't scouted their opponent's rares, which is not ideal. But I mean, given like total knowledge of the rares, I think they're fine to boom. They have an Americans player. They have a huge advantage on the bottom side. They don't need to risk it with like literally killing Rochi. They could like I think obviously Felisberto should be sieging him, but given that Phyllis has gone Civ as opposed to just straight aging, I think it's in their interest to take it a little slow. I think Phyllis can go Senator, the other sides can go Senator, the Americans player can get a Wonder, and then they just force GE to keep showing up, just keep helping Rochi and keeping Rochi alive. I think that's a good game plan.
Yeah, I would say that's the right call as well.
What would you say are the odds of winning a game where you go calm and then you have no money for mill and then your opponent kills 6 of your citizens? What do you think are the odds? I want to say it's like
I don't know, man. I've seen Rochi doing this a lot. So I'm just like, oh my god, go back.
Like I feel like
the classic Rochi.
Like this, I think this has happened to me once, and I just like resigned because I was like, it's like pointless to play this, right? Like. Because I am like so far behind, but yeah. Looks like everybody's aging up. So all the GAY players have aged, aside from Rochi, who's taken a bunch of damage. Actually, Rochi's not too far from aging, surprisingly. All things, I mean, his economy is pretty good, all things considered. Phyllis is getting there. His economy is a little lower than Rochi's, surprisingly. But he has more wealth income. It looks like 61 compared to 50. Bantu player is actually going to go for Calm 2. This is pretty funny. And Thor is going to go for Colossus. Not a bad play. I think he's not in a ton of danger from dying to a Lakota player. But as I say that, I look at John X's library and he's gone for Calm 2. So a little bit greedy of them to go for Calm 2 and that Colossus, I feel like. I think I just pick one or the other. Toughy. Is Felisberto in the chat? If you're here, hello. But, okay, well, I mean, this game is definitely interesting. Everybody's going for some kooky builds. Oops, what am I doing? Everybody's going for some kooky builds. We have a bunch of players going Calm 2, then...
Calm 2 against Turks. Oh my god. Man.
Yeah, seriously. John X
after that slow start.
Yeah. John X is going for a light raid. I mean, I guess Rochi is going for like the all-in play. Like this is the like literal opposite of going Despot Militia Rush, right? Like it's like you just hope your opponent doesn't attack you and recover eco.
Which is not a bad move because Philly did like some random civic move, which I don't understand.
Yeah, this city literally does nothing. I mean, he's getting a little bit of wealth income, but just build more fish.
Nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, he could have gone for Calm 2 in this game. I think it's fine if he goes for Calm 2 and just kills him with a Calm 2 Despot push. I mean, what is Rochi supposed to do? He's nothing. Jen says Rochi is in YOLO mode. Yeah, that seems about right. Alright, looks like everybody has finally aged. If you look at the scores, Rochi's so far behind. Oh, poor guy. He's gonna go for Civ now. Yeah, I mean, maybe he can come back, possibly. Okay, here we see some skirmishing between the Lakota player and the French, or not the French player, the Americans player and the Nubians player. Nubians player is going to go for Senator, so it looks like they're not intent on attacking, which I think is a good choice. You know, Americans player has that Colossus, just make sure you protect him, they're good.
Yeah.
On the backside here, John X is being really annoying with this light ship. And I'm surprised we haven't seen any raids out of GAY yet. Oh, no, wait, actually, just kidding. They definitely have raided based on their vision. I'm a boomer and I didn't see it. It's the, okay, so we see here it's the red Lakota player raiding. I think that's a good choice, using copper and citrus, so these galleys are going to be really tough to kill. It's going to take 2 or 3 fire ships or a bunch of heavy ships. Is Nubia using relics? That's a good question. Nubia is not using relics. This is, oh no, they are, just kidding. This is John X's there. Never mind. And actually, if you look at John X, he's going to go for Civ 2 over Mill 2. Definitely an interesting choice. Again, it's just like greed. Which, you know...
Everybody's just over booming here.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean... it's like pretty suspect on everybody's part. I mean, I think the only person who's like, I think playing it like really cleanly is Thor, but he's actually like has a lot less army than Hockey Star. And Hockey Star is doing a good job just pressuring. Is Hockey Star a standard player normally? Is that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing a good job pressuring with small armies. Yeah, he is going to get a unit bribed, but he's going to kill off a caravan in response, and actually he's probably going to lose his heavy infantry. So not the greatest of trades there. Do you see here, GE is also going to go for a raid. His eco's not the greatest. He's only got 120 wood, and he doesn't really have enough citizens to do anything. And they're actually getting raided in the back here from heavy infantry from Felisberto. That's a really nice play, just being annoying. You know your opponent's on the back foot, so keep him on the back foot. Phyllis has gone Senator. Still, Team Legend has not scouted the top right side of the map at all. Pretty sloppy from them. I mean, if their opponents are sitting on Pappy, Silver, Diamonds, Sugar, Relics, it's really bad. Well, the Coda player is also going to go for Comp 2. Oh man.
What has GE been doing?
I'm not sure.
I don't see him anywhere.
He's starting the raid, right? He has a cataphract raiding wine, and then he's got some infantry rolling through. And he's getting the infrastructure down. I don't know. I guess he built too many units in Ancient and it just didn't really pay off. Maybe he's raiding. No, he's not raiding Water. Hockey Star is. I don't know. Hockey Star with these galleys is definitely being annoying to his opponents, at least.
Yeah.
Nubian's player is popping off an eco. They've gone 2-2-2-1. They have an 81 knowledge income. No second city yet, or no third city yet, but it's coming on now. I wonder what Phyllis is up to. We haven't seen a single siege yet. Oops, my goodness. The camera's a little funky. Phyllis, in fact, does not have a stable yet.
I think he's going for the medieval rush, maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think this is not the build. You like, why do you need why do you need Civ 2? Alas, pretty sizable army here for GE. Gonna also go for Civ 2.
If you look at the score, honestly, like Rochi's catching up with Philly's score.
Yeah,
that
they're actually only 40 points different now.
Yeah, what happened there?
Fatabi says, "Screw Netflix. I enjoy Ron and Chill now." Fatabi, I'm not sure if you understand what the chill part of Ron and Chill is, or Netflix and Chill is for. We see here that this is a. Do you see this? I don't know if the delay's there, but we have the Americans player going to go for Com 2 as well.
What's wrong with this Com 2 stuff?
Guys. Okay, I love having more eco as much as anybody, but your army will be like 3 times as strong if you just age. Like, seriously. Okay, so we see here, Hockey Star is going to go for a little engagement here on the backside. He's kind of just trying to take advantage of this city placement from Thor. Not sure if it's going to work out for him. I think he's winning the engagement, but his units are all burning. And actually, it looks pretty even. And the bribe is from the Senator. He's going to get down there too. Yeah, it looks like Thor got the better end of this trade. It is still good for Hockey Star to continue trading against the Americans player, but it's, you know...
yeah, this wasn't optimal.
Yeah, I mean, Hockey Star just lost his entire army. He is still being really annoying with these heavy ships. I mean, let's see. Do they have any fish? Yeah, I mean, on the top right side is completely cleared out of fish. So really nice work from Hockey Star. I mean, that's kind of like... That's a big part of what's keeping them in the game right now. On the bottom side here, GE has started sieging. 2 sieges. I don't know where the rest of his army is. Did he throw it away? Who knows? Rochi is doing whatever. He went for Senator. His eco is actually pretty good, and Phyllis didn't really punish him at all for being behind. And in fact, I would say Phyllis is behind now, even though he's aging. He's the first one to age.
He is behind now.
Yeah. Please tell me Nubia is using... Yeah, he was using Relics. Gen. They're going to double GE here. Pretty optimistic siege from GE, all things considered. Pretty large army from the Nubian player, actually. A lot of cavalry, a lot of archers. 2 wonders go up for GAY. Hanging Gardens from the Lakota player, and pyramids for the Lakota player, and Hanging Gardens for the Bantu player. What a game. What a game. We can take a quick look at the knowledge incomes, because that's, kind of important. Americans player has 104. Nubians player has 101. Turks player has 95. Bantu player has 100. Aztec player has 65. And Lakota player has 100. So, obviously, the Aztec player is definitely lagging behind. Really needs to pump some more scholars out there, or else he's going to fall behind in tech.
Yeah.
This is something that I think... Wait, oh wait, this is Spice, just kidding. Where's Relics? Where's Relics? Oh, Tilts, yeah, Nubia's not using Relics, my bad. For some reason I thought this was Spice, or I thought this was Relics for some reason. Oh my god, look at how much money John X has. He has 860 food, 600 timber, 300 metal, and 300 wealth. I mean, admittedly, now he's spending it because he's attacked, and he's also pop-capped, which is why he couldn't spend his money. Would love to see a Forbidden City or something from the Nubian player here, just to spend his money, really. He is going to be close to that mill soon, and he's dropping that fort. I imagine we're going to see a really strong push from the Nubian player very soon. Phyllis Berto has started sieging. He has, like, no army, but he's sieging. And Rochi doesn't have anything either. He has, like, a couple units. More army than Phyllis, but Phyllis' units are upgraded. Rochi has finished teching now, finished aging. So, yeah, who would you say is ahead right now? Because it's a little hard for me to say.
I can't tell. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I think all the...
I feel like...
The Com 2s mess with my brain.
I feel like Legends were up, but they just can't convert their chances.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're now, like, even Stevens again.
Yeah, like, I think top is even Steven, which is, like... I think Thor is a little bit behind Hockey Star, but Thor's gonna win the long game, and Hockey Star's not gonna kill him. So I think...
Sure.
And I think in the middle here, I think John X is ahead of GE by a good amount. Just like knowledge income-wise, John X has 136, and GE has 85. And then on the bottom side, I think even though Rochi took such an incredible amount of damage early, I think he's actually ahead against Phyllis Berto. I think because...
And I would like to mention, like, Hockey Star did carry the weight of 2 players in the beginning. If you notice, he had 2 on him, and he was rating C as well for everyone.
Yeah.
So I think he did his part well. I feel like he really did his part.
Yeah, I mean, and those C raids are
the boom.
Yeah, I mean, those C raids were really good. I think he lost those ships, but he's now sending another heavy ship. I mean, Copper and Citrus, this is what you do with these rares, and it's really nice to see Hockey Star making use of those rares. Alright, it does look like everybody's aged. Yeah, I think Legend is Team Legend is slightly ahead because I think John X is way ahead of GE, but maybe Rochi can make something happen on this bottom side, because I mean, Phyllis is behind him. Phyllis has gone for the Mill 3, doesn't quite have armor yet. Has the money for upgrade, and he has no army. And he sees this giant Bantu army, and he's like, how did you get this army? I thought I killed a zillion of your citizens. But you know, that's kind of what happens when you mess up your own macro build order in order to hurt your opponent a lot, and then don't kill them. This happens. This 11 crossbows, 8 knights from Rochi. I mean, I think he's... Yeah. GE is pressing on this side. John, where's John? Where's the rest of John's? Oh, John went Science 3 over Mill 3, even though he's been pop capped for a long time. It's pretty funny. I mean, I understand because he thinks he's not gonna die, but I mean, it's kind of risky. If you lose this city or take a losing fight against Aztecs, you just give them the game basically, because obviously they get a ton of plunder. So it's much better, I think, just to play it safe. Get your mill, get a massive army, make it so you can fight the Aztecs player and not lose trades basically, and then after that you can get your Science 3 because you are the furthest ahead player in the game right now.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go Mill 3, you can use those wealth you would use for Science 3 instead on pumping more scholars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you balance it out. Yeah. Why is Thor not helping when he had a chance earlier? To just help John.
I'm not sure. It is a little awkward to rotate. I mean, this mountain's in a pretty awkward place. He has to rotate a good way down. But I don't know. Hockey Star has no sieges here. He's queuing up sieges. He's just going for an army raid. Pretty interesting army raid, given that it's kind of more of an army train. Fatapi points out in the chat that orange, that's Rochi, has gone greedy, way too greedy, and it worked out. Yeah, that's true. It did in fact work out. I mean, if you look at his army compared to Phyllis's army, I mean, the difference is clear. I mean, this is a huge Bantu army, and this is nothing from Phyllis. He has some army, but it's really not that much. And also, eco and tech-wise, Bantu players ahead, aside from Mill. But that doesn't really count. I hear a big skirmish going on, but I'm not sure where it is. I guess it's just crossbows shooting. On the backside, we see here Phyllis is trying to fight water against Rochi, or against Hockey Star, I mean. Hockey Star has these 2 heavy ships, and they're fighting 4 light ships and a heavy ship. Pretty funny. I think does he win this?
Fair. Honestly, who do you think will win right now?
Who do I think will win right now?
Honestly.
I mean, I gotta vote for the person with 2,000 food in the bank, right? Yeah, Fatabi, Rochi went.
See that every day.
Yeah, Rochi went Hanging Gardens in the back, off his Comtuan Ancient, while he lost 6 citizens in Ancient Age. All right, so it looks like
what a match! I love this match.
Phyllis is gonna take some heavy losses. There's a lot of knights here for GE or for Rochi. Yeah. Fasabi, yeah, I don't, I think that's kind of my reaction to this game. What's happening? All right, GE's going to the top side. He's going to make a rotation. Still, the water raids are really good. GE's actually doing the one raiding now. I actually prefer this because given that you're the Aztec player, it's
Aztec, right?
you get money from raiding, so it's really good for him to help Hockey Star in the water there. Does look like Rochi has cleaned up all of Phyllis's army here.
But Phyllis is kind of out for now.
Yeah, Nubian's player is aging, or gonna get close to aging. Still hasn't filled out the scholar, the not scholars, the universities. Oh no, Rochi, it gets worse. Don't tell me that. Okay, so Rochi's going to go for literacy, and he's actually doing very well for himself in terms of knowledge income. Bantu, at this point in the game, having no population cap is actually pretty helpful. Admittedly, he's only at 89 population, but it's still helpful. G is rotated all the way to the top. He's not scared of getting killed by the Nubian player at all, because, why would you play scared when your opponent's not attacking you? American's player is doing whatever, has maxed out the what do you call it, the scholars, and should get science 3. Yep, goes for science 3 now. Looks like the Aztec player is going to go for terracotta army. I don't mind this, actually. I think given the state of the game where nothing's really happening and they're just like raiding each other / waiting to attack to gunpowder, I think it's fine to get down a wonder.
He can't afford it.
But and he's also pop capped pretty much. He's at 100 population, so I think it's fine for him to go for that wonder. Just make his late game a little bit better. And obviously, Aztec in the gunpowder age are really strong because they're really good at raiding.
Yeah, but it's only gonna be useful if he goes mill 4, not monarchy later.
Yeah.
But it's useless.
Yeah. Because you really want to be pop capped and gathering all the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fatabi, I think you're right. So Fatabi says in the chat, this is actually really good learning experience for all inters watching, and he's quoting Flames. Ron is all about timing. And Legend Team had the advantage and missed their window. Yeah, I think that's right. If you look at the scores here, I mean, this is only a 200-point difference. And, like, Phyllis had Rochi literally dead. Like, he was dead, right? Like, if you have... He went calm, and he had no money for mill. Like, he had 0 food, and Phyllis shows up with 2 hoplites and denies his wood camp. Like, he's dead, right? Like, but somehow, actually, it is Rochi winning this side. As I say that, I'm not sure. Actually, no, he's doing well. Rochi is winning that side, and the other sides are not doing terrible for themselves.
Yeah.
Does feel like Team Legend dropped the ball a little bit here, and it feels like the momentum is swinging in the favor of GAY, but we'll still have to see. Team Legend still is ahead in score, and they still have a Colossus Americans player, so I wouldn't count that out by any means.
Yeah.
Americans player really needs to get that literacy upgrade, though. Rochi says, keep in mind it was 3:30 a.m. local. Okay, that's fair. Okay, all right, Rochi, I'll give you that. I don't know why you played at 3:30 a.m., but props to you for giving the effort.
Rochi is always trolling. Like every game I play with him, always goes for these crazy booms. Yeah. Nice try, Rochi.
Rochi has a massive army compared to Phyllis, but he also does have a lot of light infantry. These light infantry kind of suck. Like until gunpowder, they're like pretty useless, aside from like defending raids and ancient. I think, everybody has their opinion, but I think they suck.
As long as I think it's just for the numbers, So here's
that's
the numbers to keep the city for the healing.
Yeah. They also are shorter range than his crossbows, so they serve as like kind of a buffer that doesn't cost metal, right? Yeah. Like, if your opponent ever sneaks to your back line with a bunch of cavalry, you can have the light infantry take the shots, basically, while you rotate the rest of your army. And they don't cost wealth, which is cheaper, right? Because you need your metal and wealth for your knights. Because it's that if you look at the army composition for Rochi, that's what he's going for. He has 11 knights right now, which is a really good choice. Knights are one of the best units in the game. See a skirmish here on the top side between Hockey Star and Thor. Hockey Star is kind of just walking in. I don't know if this is going to work out for him. Maybe? I don't know. It looks like Thor has his units on stand ground, so they're not really fighting, and so Hockey Star is going to be able to get to the backside. And this is kind of what happens when you get flanked like this. All these cavalry just being really hurting all the archers. But it does look like... Yeah, it does look like Hockey Star just didn't have enough army for that, so he's going to throw away a bunch of units. Phyllis says, I forgot armor, that explains it. I don't know if that's why you're losing here. I think it's just because your eco is bad compared to Rochi's.
Armor wouldn't have really saved him there.
Yeah, it's still a smaller army. Okay, now Thor... Okay, so John has aged. He's going for Colosseum, because why not? What else would you spend your money on? And he has a pretty teched out Gunpowder Age army, though. I will say his army's good. He's actually gone for Civic 3 because, again, why not, get that taxation level 2. What is happening in this game? Actually, I would love to see John actually go water here. I think while he's waiting for knowledge for Mill 4, I think if he goes water here and or sends his resources to his allies, I think that's actually really good because they're losing this game on water, right? Like actually, if you look, he has a pretty large. They have a lot of water here that's kind of eating up their population. But I mean, Hockey Star's raids have been really, really good. Hockey Star and GE's raids, they've definitely done a lot of damage on the backside.
So, like, he's sieging the temple, not the city.
Yeah. Here we see some light raids from GE. This is a nice little trick. I feel that a lot of players don't do this enough. It's just like raiding with a couple units. You don't just send one knight. You send 2 knights. You send some light infantry, etc. Chat says, I would like to see how John X doesn't attack, as the theme of this game has been. I would love to see more of a boom fest where they're just doing, okay, he's going for Science 4. Aside from that, I'm going to ignore that because I think I'll pass out if I think about it too much. We have the sieges sieging the city of Damwa, and Rochi has finished aging, but he's still a little ways away from getting the Arquebusier upgrade. Arquebusier upgrade, one of the most important upgrades in the game. It makes your light infantry from useless things into much better crossbows, basically. Still the raids in the back from GE. This is really nice. He's going to get all the Obsidian merchants, but they are losing Rochi's city in the meantime. Let's take a look at the top side. Hockey Star is aging. Thor has finished aging. Thor's going to go for Arquebusier upgrade, heavy infantry upgrade, and Monarchy. Really nice choice.
I think Rochi can 2v1 at this point once he gets his upgrades.
He doesn't have a ton of army. I mean, where is... Oh, actually, never mind. He doesn't have a ton of army. Yeah, but Tommy, I think this is a spot where I can't actually roast either of the teams because Rochi was still upgrading his units. He didn't have Arquebusier upgrade. He's getting his Monarchy now, and GE is an H down, so he can't fight 2 armies. So I think it's fine that they went for it. But Rochi is going to take the city back.
That was okay.
Yeah, Rochi's going to take the city back, and for John, it's really, really hurting him that he doesn't have Mill. He doesn't even have the Literacy upgrade, which is one of the main reasons why he goes Science 4 instead of Mill 4. Yeah, Rochi, you're right. This city has like no eco, so I think you're definitely right to wait for upgrade.
We've been trolling Rochi a lot, but I think he's gonna carry the game now.
Yeah, this is a pretty sloppy fight, unfortunately. Most of his army's sitting in the back here. If you see, he has half his army on this side, all of his knights, and he's kind of just throwing away a bunch of these infantry. GE is doing his best to keep the combined armies of Phyllis and John X occupied. Here on this top side, we see the Americans player is kind of running over the Lakota player. Lakota player doesn't have many units at all. In fact, he's really struggling. And the Americans player has Monarchy. I mean, this looks really rough for Team GAY. They were doing so well. I mean, there are 3 sieges from the Americans players, 7 heavy knights. I think it's going to be really tough for Hockey Star to stay in the game, especially given that GE is not finished aging yet. He's almost there, though. It's going to be up to Rochi to carry this game. I mean, he has 120 population in Monarchy, and he's the most ahead.
Yeah.
But GE's taking bad trades. I mean, he's trading an H down against 2 armies. He's just like throwing away army. I mean, I understand he needs to hold.
Waited.
Yeah, he just needs to wait and try and take a good fight with Rochi's ginormous 2 armies. I mean, look at this. This is such a large Bantu army.
Yeah, and he's not utilizing it. Like,
yeah. He's about to walk in. He has 16 heavy knights. Let's see how many. There's a single heavy infantry from John X and not a ton from Phyllis. Phyllis has no army here, and Rochi looks like he's going to break them. The Monarch's not really forward enough. It's going to be a full frontal conflict here. There's not enough heavy infantry from the side of John X. He's really floundering on metal, looks like. Actually, those raids from GE have really hurt his eco if you look quickly here. And now GE's on the backside. They might be able to turn this around with Rochi's giant army here. These arquebusiers, this
Yeah.
line of like 16 of them has gone completely uncontested, because it looks like John X just kind of threw his cavalry into the right side. If he went to the left side, it's really easy. Yeah, they're gonna win this fight. On the top
I
side,
just
though, the
don't know
Americans
if
player is
Foxy
crushing
will- Yeah.
the Lakota player. He's in a lot of trouble. Lakota player has 73 population, really struggling for eco, no mines at this point. He's super dead unless GE can do something. So, Flames, if you're Rochi in the spot, assuming that it's not, assuming that you're not sleep deprived because it's 3:30 a.m. and you actually, your brain is like fully functional. What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you press Phyllis? Do you press John X? Do you rotate top? What is the strat? What do you do?
Yeah. You tell your guy GE to go help Hockey Star, and actually during this whole time, during this whole 2v2, he should have been piling up some sieges and releasing it right now, and play your own 2v1.
Yeah, but unfortunately
That would have been the right move.
Unfortunately for Rochi, they don't even have he doesn't even have a siege factory yet, and also
Exactly.
he doesn't have literacy
He's been
upgrade. That's
piling.
really funny. But he is getting armor upgrade, so I can't complain him. He's a giant army. He's gonna make use of it. Alan, hey, how's it going? How are Phyllis and John X losing? So it seems like Phyllis did not focus on an eco enough, and so his eco is kind of like terrible. If you look at it, like he only has 110 metal. On the other side, John X has refused to go mill when he should have. And so his army size is really small. And in fact, John X is choosing to go to the top side because he's like, Rochi's not going to attack me. He doesn't have sieges, and he's going to get paid off because Rochi doesn't have sieges. Jan, this game was played to get the tilts all out of the casters, so we'll never be tilted for another cast again. Hockey Star's going to throw away some light infantry. I mean, it's not really his fault. He's done a decent job playing this game. I mean, the raids of the water were really good. He's done his part. It's now up to his teammates to carry him. The Aztec player who's H4 with Terracotta Army should be pretty strong, and obviously Rochi, who with a ginormous Bantu army. Look at how many light infantry he has. He has 22 arquebusiers. You could probably fight this army even though there's a bunch of knights there. Oh no, he's gonna back off. Alright.
For sure. Does anyone have the Forbidden City, by the way?
Oops, this is Scout. Let's see. I'm gonna try to select a citizen. No, nobody's built Forbidden City. Americans player's not building it.
Why is Hockey Star not making?
I don't know.
Yeah, Hockey Star should just make it.
I feel like Americans player should also make it. He has Colossus. He's flooding so many resources. He has 1,600 wealth. GE is here. He's ready to throw away some army as well because this is in fact the game of throws. They're gonna throw away a bunch of army against the combined force of the Americans player and the Aztec player. Admittedly, GE is trading, so that's good, but it's not an effective trade. The raids in the back are we're good, right? He's definitely hurting John X's eco a lot.
Yeah, I guess so.
And now it does look like they're actually holding here. There's a lot of knights. Look at this, 14 knights. They're actually going to be able to clean this up. Wow, I didn't expect them to win that fight, but I guess Thor's army was just not as large.
That's like, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, these are Rochi's units. Never mind. I see, okay, so Rochi brought a bunch of units up to help. That makes sense. And he still has... he brought enough army to the top side to help out, because he has, like, 14 knights, but on the bottom side, he just casually has, like 28 arquebusiers, a bunch of crossbows, and still some more knights. And let's see, he still does not have any sieges.
What are they doing?
I have no idea. I guess GE has 3 sieges, so I guess they're okay. Like, at this point, it is fine to have not that many sieges if your ally has a bunch of sieges, but... Alright, hold on, I gotta text...
It gets worrisome if, like, I think John's gonna go XH, okay?
Yeah.
That's when it gets a bit tight.
Yeah. Alright, sorry, I thought this game would be over soon, so I scheduled for something at 9, but or that so it's like 9 ET, which is like in 2 minutes. But I obviously the game's still going, so I think. Yeah. Fatabi says, "Why level a city when you can take it peacefully, right? Think of all the innocent villagers." Yeah. I mean, it does seem like it's a game where, oh, this is still happening. I'm so confused, so confused. Okay, Rochi has sieges. He has 2 catapults. He has a catapult and he's getting a second one. There we go. He's gonna start sieging the siege factory. He has no army here. Most of his army is just chilling on the top side. He has... Okay, he's finally gonna get literacy upgrade. Okay, very cool, very cool. Rochi's gonna win it for his team. His scores are still really close.
Yeah.
GE is gonna go for a nice army raid, recognizing that the Americans player is still weak. And this is actually really good. I mean, he's causing a lot of damage here. Are his sieges still alive? Yep, they are. He's actually gonna rotate over to the top side. Let's see, Lakota player, metal income is not recovered, but everything else is mostly together. The city of Oyupe, maybe, is still gone. Jatin says, I think everyone turned AI this game. Possibly. I mean, I think AIs would know how to build siege, so... Not to at you, Rochi.
Catapults, you mean? Catapults.
What'd you say?
I mean catapults, not sieges.
Yeah, okay, Rochi has 4 bombards now. Okay, he's ready to do something. His army is not here. Oh, he's... How did he lose this fight? Doesn't he have like a zillion arquebusiers? He lost like half his army. Where did it go? It just disappeared. Where's his army? What the heck? Hockey Star says, I hate Nomad. What's happening in this game? Alright, so the city's getting sieged.
I don't know.
The city of Houston's getting sieged. Sean X is here to help out. They're fighting 2v3, kind of. Rochi's cavalry are killing the city of Oyupe, and he doesn't have a supply wagon. And Rochi needs to consolidate his forces. I mean, he had a large army earlier, but I think he threw it away, a lot of it at least.
Yeah, he divided them up.
Yeah.
Like his knights are trying to reduce a very healthy city on the top, and he has like 2 catapults sieging 1 city, and his army of light infantry is fighting a full army of knights.
Yeah. Does look like Hockey Star is taking a leaf out of Rochi's book, gonna siege with a single catapult instead of, actual sieges. Admittedly, he's really poor in metal, so that's an excuse. Eat the salt. I do actually like things slightly saltier than like bland. Like in general, like food-wise, I would prefer a slightly saltier thing than a bland one. So yeah. Anyways, that's beside the point. Americans player is still struggling for population, only at 100. Eco-wise, doing all right. Has enough techs actually to go next age. 28 scholars. Same thing with John X. John X is actually really close to aging. He only needs like 100 food. This has been, despite all the throws, this has been the closest game we've casted so far, I think.
Right? I was just going to mention that. The closest.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, viewers, who do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? I mean, I think Legend is going to win just because Thor and John are going to age up soon, and eventually they'll win. But I mean, you also can't count out the Aztecs player, who's Aztecs player age 4, who admittedly doesn't have a ton of population, but hasn't been hurt by eco-wise. And then of course Rochi, who's popping off. He has a giant army. G points out that Rochi has a bunch of random army. What'd you say?
I think the gay team might win this one. I think the gay team might win.
You think the gay team? All right. I guess we can.
I think so.
We can split our bets accordingly. I think. Yeah. I think that Legend is going to win, but I'm not really confident. What makes you think gay will win?
I just feel like they can convert a kill better, and I think it's eventually going to come the opportunity.
Maybe, yeah. Looks like everybody has forgotten about water. Hockey Star has some random boats floating there. And Phyllis also has some random boats floating. They're just, just chill, they're just vibing. Phyllis is trying to make a good fight. Rochi has consolidated some of his forces. I don't know where the rest of his army is. so confused. This is like 2/3 of his army. Where's the other? Oh, he has a random small army at the top side. That's not really helping them take the city at all. Star points it out, and Rochi's like, "What do you mean?" Hey, MT,
They're
how's it going?
patrolling. They're patrolling.
Yeah. This is actually like, I feel like if this was like Twitch chat, it would be full of like a lot of Kek W and Mocha S or whatever the kids say these days. What's happening? All right, Americans players still at 100. I feel like every time I look, the Americans players at 100 population.
Yeah, Hatabi, the legend team doesn't have fishes, but that doesn't matter. They have like 2 key resources stacked.
Yeah. Philos is actually broke right now. He has his eco is like somewhat there, but he has nothing in the bank. He's desperately trying to spend all his money. Whereas, Rochi can just afford to keep on pumping unit after unit after unit.
Yeah.
On the top side, this fight is still happening. How is this city not taken yet? Oh, here, now we see, finally, John X with the age 5 units. He's going to be able to drive away the assault from GAY, finally. So that's going to relieve the pressure on that side. Let's take a look at John's eco. I mean, he's doing really well for himself. He's gotten at least 260 in every single resource, and he's age 5. I mean, he's doing really well for himself. He just needs to get more army. He only has 90 population.
Yeah.
Rochi says 3:30 a.m. Yeah, I can see that, Rochi. I'm not really sure how any sane person throws this game like you are, but I understand it if it's 3:30 a.m. when you play this. So, no fault. I'm just saying. I think it's it's understandable. 3:30 a.m. is very early in the morning, or very late in the night, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't fault anybody for not playing their best at that time. Rochi is doing pretty well in terms of eco. He's going to be able to age very soon. He can, in fact, click up now. Let's take a look. Lakota player has gone for Civic 4 because why not? Why would the Aztec player is not close to aging. Still needs a lot of knowledge to age. Does have the science or the literacy upgrade or the printing press upgrade, but needs to get a university at the 4th city. Which I'm not actually sure where it is. Oh, it's in the backside. Yep, the university is going to go down. So, given that the game's going late like this, I'm going to quickly just check on all the rares. Just remind Fatabi, Civic 4, you were right, it's getting worse. Yeah, I mean, it costs the same resources as aging. Why would you just go Civic 4 instead of aging? It's so useless. Okay, so anyways, well, before I rage anymore, so the rares, right? So at this point in the game, the rares do become, it's still very useful, and it would be good to remind our viewers of the rares that each team has. So again, Team GAY, they've got copper and citrus, both water rares. They've got furs and silk, and I think that's about it, right? Oh, they've got silver on the top side, but nobody's using that aside from Hockey Star. And then they've also got gems. And then for the other team, for Team Legend, they've got relics, tobacco, bison, sugar, diamonds, amber, dye, spice. So at this point in the game, relics is awesome, but it's not as good in this game as it's not as good this game as it is, in the early game, because plus what 30 knowledge income is not as good when each scholar makes like 15 or whatever. Looks like here we're gonna see Rochi has had like half his army garrisoned in the city. He's still doing a good job. I mean, he's pressuring Phyllis. Phyllis has a decent-sized army, and his economy is recovering, but he's definitely hurting. He's definitely most behind in his team. John X has 100 population, so he hasn't been maxing out at all. Let's see. The Americans player is doing pretty well for himself, getting all the upgrades. Army is not that big, but he's getting his eco back together. Oh yeah, didn't we see Pappy? Wasn't there Pappy somewhere? Or am
I'm not sure.
I thought there was, but... Guess not. Okay, we're going to see some more water raids here from Team GAY. Really nice work. I think the consistent water raids are one of the things that have kept them in this game. So definitely good work to GE and Hockey Star there. Really good work, just pushing continuously. Pretty big Americans army here now, and I think Hockey Star has correctly recognized that, yes, I need help, please help me, send help. Rochi has a pretty big army. He has taken the city of Istanbul, but now the Nubians player is here to support with, not that much army, but it is some, and Phyllis has some army. The city's swapping back and forth between Rochi and Phyllis, and Rochi's gonna back off. I don't know if he could have fought it. Perry, your logic is questionable with relics and scholars, given that these guys have Civ 4. Yeah, I'm trying to make good commentary, despite the very comical nature of this game. I wish Connor was awake now. If he could see this, I think he'd compare it to that Lakes game that we casted for Nordic Classic. It was just like a complete, it was like pretty similar gameplay. It was just crazy.
A big troll.
Okay, Americans player is definitely hurting the Lakota player a lot. GE is here to help, so it's going to be a 2v1. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, actually, it looks like Hockey Star has a decent-sized army. He just needed help to get his city back under control. So Americans player is going to make the wise choice to run. No need to throw away your army there. Yeah, and if you look, they have no fish. They actually have a single fisherman for the side of Legend. Yeah, and that's really hurting their wealth incomes. I mean, if you look at Phyllis, he's at 101. Admittedly, the Nubians player has 5 caravans, so that's what happens when you go Commerce 4. And then Marian's player has 4 caravans, so 330. Okay, whatever. But Phyllis's wealth income is really shook.
Why did the American player even go Colossus? He never had a Colossus army.
Yeah,
I mean, just gone hanging.
He's still 122. I don't know. He's gonna take the city, but he's gonna lose the city of Houston in return. G is finally aging. Phyllis is aging. Hockey Star is aging. This is a game that still, we don't know who wins. Even though everybody's gonna be age 5.
Neither team wants to win. It's like, you take the win. No, you. Just passing it on.
Hey, we like that sportsmanship, right? You gotta be nice to your opponents. Say, here, I want to give you a chance to win. No, you take the chance to win. This is nice work from GE here. He's stuck in a couple spies, which are actually gonna be quite good here. Let's see. It looks like Thor, his explorers are out of position, so he's gonna get a couple units bribed, which is pretty annoying for him.
Yeah.
Rochi's still pressing on this side. He's keeping John X's armies here, and John X actually has a pretty massive army. And Rochi has 2 decently sized armies. I don't know why he split them. But at this point, this is one of those games where it's not only about macro decisions, right? Like what sort of researches you go to, what armies you make, or how much army to make, but it's also about what your army composition is, right? If you're mindlessly spamming light infantry and heavy cavalry, you're going to lose most fights because your opponent's just going to have a couple heavy infantry. They're going to clean up all your heavy cavalry, and that's going to be it. So, so it is a lot about what sort of army composition you have here. If you look at this is a little bit of a sloppy army composition from Felisberto. I mean, it's a good choice, right? He has a lot of light infantry, a lot of heavy infantry, or a lot of heavy cavalry, but he doesn't have enough heavy infantry, and he needs a good amount more of them. He is suffering for eco, but still. On the top side, Americans player is thrashing the Lakota player, but the Lakota player is finally ready to fight back, has the upgraded army, and has a good amount more army than the Americans player, so Americans player is going to have to tuck their tail between their legs and run. Jan says, only nukes will make this game worth watching. And Roji says, Armageddon? No, Roji, don't do this to me. I have a meeting in 17 minutes. I hope this game ends by then.
So that's Rochi's plan all along.
Yeah, Roji's plan is just to mess with the casters. You're like, Alright, looks like the Lakota player is going to lose this small city on the top side and therefore lose control of silver, which Americans player, I don't know, just gave up on, question mark? They're going to make a push for the city of Houston once again with no sieges. GE is taking a good trade. I mean, this is a pretty solid trade. He's just... And given that he's the Aztec player, obviously he can afford it. Rochi is still doing whatever. Looks like John X has left. Where's John X's army? Did he take a bad fight? Where'd it go? Yeah, I guess it looks like he took a bad fight because he's only on 97 population. Sorry, folks, I missed that.
Yeah.
Phyllis says, "Sorry, boys, it's all me." You know, I think the game is the game. Like, Phyllis had a good shot to win the game outright, like in the first 20 minutes, but he threw that. And then afterwards, I think it's not his fault. Like, I feel like he's like playing fine after that.
I agree, exactly. Yeah.
Like it's like his teammates are kind of throwing, but they're like Rochi just got away with so much that, you know. Fatami says, "You kidding? This is one of the most entertaining." Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I would blame Philly on like not winning the game, but not on losing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the chance to kill.
Yeah. Like, he had the chance to win the game outright for his team, and he didn't take it, basically. But, given that... Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I think he's done his best after Rochi got ahead too much.
Okay.
I mean... Oh, if you look at the score now, suddenly it's GAY overtaking the point lead for the first time, and the Aztecs player is going to go for Versailles. I think this would have been better saved for Rochi, but, I mean, I think it's acceptable nonetheless. This is going to make the Aztecs player really strong. And once again, the momentum has shifted in the favor of GAY.
Yeah, I think this will be the final part of the game.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think Rochi has a lot of army, and my guess is the game will end. If not in this age, then in the next age. If you take a quick look here, the Americans player is still a little ways away from getting industrial. Rochi needs two more techs, one of which he's just finishing now. But the Nubians player is going to be able to age very soon, and that, you know what that means? That means tanks. Tanks are incredibly strong. The light tank is one of the most broken units in the game. Admittedly, it doesn't see a ton of usage because, you know, it's Nomad. Usually the games don't go that long. But the light tank is, like, incredibly strong. It's, like, really, really, really good. So it's, you know... Fatabi says, hashtag space program, let's go. Does look like they're losing ground on the top side. I mean, GE is definitely pushing here, and Hockey Star has a lot of units, and he's actually taking a winning fight against the Americans player. Even though the Americans player has taken the city, it feels like the Americans player just needed to heal their units and spend their money a little better. They still have 1,700 wealth in the bank. And the city of Houston's taken. GE takes it. He's pop capped. They have complete control of the water at this point. Rochi is still just gradually pushing along. It looks like his army on the top side might get cleaned up here by a flank from Phyllis and John X.
I don't see Legends coming back from this one.
Yeah, it does feel like the momentum is definitely in the favor of GAY, and I'm not really sure how they're, you know, going to get out of it. The city of Istanbul is taken by Rochi. He has split up half his army, and I think it's going to be tough for John and Phyllis to fight either of these armies. I mean, they're both just so large.
Yeah.
And GG's called. Phyllis calls it. It's GG. I think he's right too. I mean, Rochi just has way, way too much, and on the top side, they can't do anything. Wow, what a game. I was flaming Rochi for, you know, like, winning the game. Like, I was like, there's no way he's winning the game if he loses, like, 6 citizens in Ancient Age, but he did it. I mean, I'm impressed. You know, this has definitely been a very entertaining game to watch and a game of back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Rochi did a boomerang. He threw, and it came back to him.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. So MVP wise, okay, so I think okay. I mean, I got to give MVP to Rochi here because he like had such an awful start and he was the one that saved the game.
Yeah.
But I think for me,
If we divide the game into 2 sections, maybe.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes and the last whatever.
Last 45.
How many we can choose the MVPs? So the first 10, who do you think it was?
Okay, so first 10.
It was hockey, maybe.
I think first 10. It was I think it was Phyllis because he got there early. Like he gave Legend the incredible advantage that they had.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think so. I think Rochi was definitely the MVP overall, but I think Hockey Star is the quiet MVP. He's the quiet MVP.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He
did the dirty work.
He did he did like what was needed to be done, right? He's the one rotating. He's the one pushing. He did a ton of C raids, which kept them in the game, and in fact, pretty much won them the game at the end. I think like they have no C at the end there, I think like if it, and I think GE also did a decent job. Like obviously GE seemed like a little bit like he was like not really doing much in the early game, but at the end of it, he was like we saw in Gunpowder, he was just constantly raiding John X and hurting his eco continuously, and that's kind of hurt John X's ability to field large armies. Even though there's large, even though he had a large tech advantage, and I feel like John just was not able to convert his tech advantage into raw advantage, right? Like it felt like he was unable to do anything with despite how far ahead his tech was.
Yeah. Okay, so now with the MVP out of the way, like who do you think kind of threw it to?
Who trolled the game? Or threw the game?
Yeah, who kind of trolled?
Okay, so Phil's threw the game by not going for an aggressive push at all. It's not even like you need to all-in your opponent, you just,
just don't let him go.
Yeah, you just, you have to, push somehow. You have to force him to make units. He's just so greedy. And then, I think, for me, actually, it's probably on John X. I felt like a lot of the time, he would choose to go for mill. He would go for science over mill when he had a significant advantage, and he just never fielded a large enough army to win a fight. I felt like he had so many resources, but he was always taking losing fights because he just didn't have enough army. Because he was population capped, or in the later game, obviously, he was just taking bad trades, and he was never able to build up a large enough army.
And he didn't really have a set goal, where he's gonna stop booming and just kill.
Yeah.
It was always boom to another level, and then another level,
yeah.
And on and on and on.
Yeah. What was the point of this Colosseum? It just did nothing in this game. He just spent 600 resources.
I need to compete with gems. To compete with gems.
Yeah, so we can take a look at the game stats here. Rochi's the MVP for GAY, and Lat's the MVP for Americans. Yeah. Hockey Star says Civ 4 needed to age. That's fair, Hockey Star, but you're supposed to go for mill or something, right? So, Jan says both teams suck. No well played, anyone. Aw, Jan, come on, that's not good sportsmanship. Come on.
Yeah.
We see here the units killed. Yeah, Thor has killed the most units, and lost the most because Colossus, I guess, and Rochi's killed the most units on his team. Fatabi says Colosseum is like gems, to be honest. Yeah, it's like gems, except you instead of being 30 timber, 10 wealth for a merchant, it's 400 timber, 400 metal, and it makes all the rest of your wonders more expensive.
Yeah. So you're gonna spam forts at least.
Yeah, that's true. Forts are pretty bad, but yeah, you just spam forts, I guess. Resources wise, it's pretty clear, pretty spread out, and you see it's John X who is the most ahead in tech. He reached Enlightenment Age a good 3 minutes before anybody else did, but just was not able to convert that to advantage. Do the float race? What was the float race, Fatabi?
the most?
I don't know, but you
You
can't really.
check that?
I don't think you can tell that because when you resign, you have 0. Oh no, you can't. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, you can't. You can't because if
Resource
you
scrap?
already resigned, you can't see. So I can't see how much Jean was floating or Phyllis was floating. But if this is how much they were all collectively floating. Because you know they get set when you resign. It's yeah. Prolays. This was a best of 1. It was a 56-minute game, and yeah, John, I think you're right.
I think what happened was like, I think what happened was like maybe for them, like like it was a bit overwhelming to micro and at the same time invest on your resources for economy.
Yeah.
The army. So that they just forgot about the resources, and that happens.
It is tough, and that's kind of why it's if you're practicing for the tournament, once in a while you should play one of these longer games. Just like don't kill each other, just play a longer game, because you do need the experience of where to go on the map, when to make army, when to tech, what your army composition should be, figuring out what your allies need and what your opponents are weak to, etc. You just need a little bit of experience, and it's definitely tough if you don't have that experience. So yeah. All right.
Also, timing is key. Like, yeah.
Well, anyways, that is the game. Again, that's the victory going to GAY, so congratulations to them. This was definitely a very exciting game, so if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I am awful at those YouTuber fake people. So, do that because that helps out Rise Nations in the whole. So please, do that right now. We hope you've enjoyed the cast today. Again, it was this was GAY versus Legend, and GAY won that one. And earlier we casted PLA Panda versus SFT1, and PLA Pandas won that. So, yeah, that's gonna wrap up our cast for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Flames, for coming in and helping me enjoy this masterpiece of a game where everybody played incredibly well.
It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure. Glad I didn't miss this one, man.
Yeah. All right. Hope everybody has a good evening, day, whatever, wherever you're from around the world. And we'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye.